Okay, so today is exciting. Um, some of you may be aware, a while back, actually in January, I started a class for getting my GED slash high set. They call it different things in different parts of the country. Here in Missouri, it's called high set. But I started in January, and uh, basically, I went to a class with a whole bunch of other kids and sometimes some adults, just a couple adults, but it's mostly teenagers that didn't fit in at school, or a lot of them were bullied and they were just like, yeah, I'm done with this shit. I'm just going to go test out and call it good. It was really cool. And when I say cool, I mean the people were really cool. Not everybody's going to have the same experience, but the ladies there, um, they were genuinely excited when people did good. They wanted people to pass and everything. And I just felt like they cared. So it made the whole process a lot less scary. Um, for those of you that don't know, um, I dropped out of high school, I believe what was going to be my junior year, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really have good memories of school. I don't have good memories of um, most of my childhood and my adolescence. I honestly can't remember a lot of it. Um, Not gonna lie, that kind of freaks me out a little bit to not be able to remember huge chunks of your life. It's disturbing. Anyway, but I've read somewhere that that's common for like trauma, yada blah. Anyway, um, so I'm I turned 42 this year, and I hadn't. Oh God, what am I talking about here? Last year I said that I wanted to try and get my GED and do all that shit before my next birthday. So I went to the class thingy. They have you take tests to see what you need to learn and what you need help in. Um, I actually did pretty good in everything except math. Obviously, I needed help in math. It's not my strong suit. But according to the tests I took and the results, for basically everything but math, which was science, social studies, writing and reading, language arts type shit. Basically, it all said that I'm ready for college. Um, a couple of them said like higher college. I don't know. I guess graduate level shit. I don't know. I don't know. The point is I passed. That's what's important. So I didn't have to do the class for very long, but I did have to schedule tests according to the schedule for the school that was doing them. Um, I got one test done, and then I was going to schedule another one. And then here in Missouri, the weather was shit. Like trying to drive, the news was even like, hey, don't go on the roads. You're probably going to die. So I didn't go because it's in another town. It's in Hannibal. I live in Canton. That's it's a little bit of a drive. It's not too terribly far, but it's not just up the street and around the corner. So I did the one test. I missed out on the second one. So I had to schedule the last four tests. There's five total. I had to schedule the last four for the same fucking day. Holy shit. That was stressful to me, especially with the math. I watched a whole bunch of things on YouTube, and I was trying to wrap my mind around the math, and I thought I was going to have to learn all this shit. And the videos that I watched were more about how to take the test and what the test is actually asking of you, which helped my brain a lot. Because most of the time I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? I don't fucking tell me what you want. Anyway, so I took all those tests. I passed all of those tests that I took in the same day. So I passed all those tests, and I came home and I filled out all this shit, and they mailed me my diploma. And I didn't open this yet because I wanted to share this because it's actually really important to me. My daughter graduated high school, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt like shit that I hadn't graduated. I could have been a better example for a lot of things for my daughter, and I feel really bad about that. But that's not what we're here about. Here to celebrate something good, because I worked really hard on this. I stressed out about this, so I'm gonna go ahead and open it. It's sealed. It says pull here to open. Pull here to open. All right, let's see here. Stupid paper. Yes, supposed to be easy, make it difficult. Yes, I fucking love that. Okay, here we go. What do we have here? Yeah, that's hilarious. Here we go. State of Missouri, Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, Certificate of High School Equivalency, and then there's my name, and I did all the things. So here's my thing. Oh my god, I did a thing! I'm so excited. And they give me a report card too. And this is kind of funny. So in everything, I got A's, like A minus A's. And then in mathematics, I got a C plus. So my overall grade was like a B plus. But the point is, I passed. I passed. I'm excited. Okay, now, I'm going to have a sippy sip. Congratulations to me. Potato vodka. Grain alcohol is for children. Okay, so literally that's it. Thank you for sharing this with me, because holy shit, I got my high school diploma. This is going to be so cool, because I've wanted to go to school for things for a long time. I wanted to take classes. My end goal is to live out my old age as a librarian. Maybe a children's librarian. I don't fucking know. Probably not. Maybe I shouldn't be teaching the youth. I don't know. Point is, I loved the library as a kid. It was one of my safe places. It was one of those places when things were not good, I could just go and nobody kicked me out. Nobody yelled at me. And most importantly, nobody told me I was stupid for looking at the things that I was looking at and enjoying the things that I was enjoying. If anything, shit was encouraged. And it didn't matter how ridiculous it was. It didn't matter how stupid my questions were. No librarian has ever made me feel like shit. And I'd kind of like to keep that going. Also, I just really love books. I might not read all of them, but I like being around books. They're just, maybe I'll read it, maybe I won't, but the possibility is there. And I think that the most interesting and probably one of the coolest things about books is that came out of somebody's head. You know, even things that are kind of like retellings of really old things, you know, like fairy tales, for example. Those get retold a lot. But if you go all the way back, somebody came up with the idea to tell this story. You know, somebody thought up the idea of Sleeping Beauty. Hey, you know it'd be a great story? This bitch falls asleep from a spell, and then this king just finds her, and he's like, she's hot and passed out and can't say no. You know, it's a fucked up story. And yet we have things like, you know, Disney and whatnot making really pretty movies out of it. I fucking loved Sleeping Beauty. It was so pretty. Oh my god, again with the fucking squirrels in the yard. I need to give them more things. But yeah, I want to take classes. See, rambling, blah, blah, blah. And hopefully whatever classes I take will help me get towards being a librarian. But I think for the most part, I guess like the only word I can think of is play. Like, I want to learn things for fun. Now, the things that I want to learn for fun might actually be useful, But I think if I go in with a I'm kind of interested in this and this is fun type thing, I might be more apt to absorb the knowledge. Because if it's something I'm not interested in, it will not stick. Um, Again, thank you, brain. um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to taking a class of any kind, even if it's just like a couple week class, a class on anything. But the point is, I couldn't go to the local community college or anything like that without something like this to be like, hey, I can take the classes, but now I can. So woohoo! I'm excited about that. Okay, I'm getting warm sitting in here. Oh, uh, but yeah, woohoo! I did the thing. I did the thing, and now I can move on to other aspects of my life. And more importantly, I don't know how to explain it. I felt like crap that my daughter had achieved something and I couldn't be a good example of how to do it because I didn't accomplish it myself. But I am so fucking proud that she did it because I know it was a struggle and the way that our brains work and, you know, struggling to read and shit like that make learning things difficult. So I know that was a challenge for her. So I was just like, fuck yeah, you did it, baby girl. So stupid happy about that. But now I'm proud because I can tell her, hey, look what I did. I did the thing. Yay. Um, yeah, so I think that's about it for me. I'm gonna go finish this water bottle and work on some more knitting projects. I have so much yarn. So much yarn. Not as much as I had before because I like to give away craft supplies. Craft supplies are not cheap. Um, and especially in our little town, you have to drive to another town to get craft supplies. And now that Joann's is gone, literally the only place to get craft supplies at is a Walmart and what the fuck is that fucking place called? Hobby Lobby. Um, yes, Target does have some shit, but for the most part, no. It's oh god, I'm gonna miss Joanne so much. But like I was saying, it's in another town. You have to drive to get there, and here in this small little town of less than 2,500 people, there's no craft store down here. So when I make friends and I meet people and stuff, if I have craft supplies that are literally just sitting here not being used, and I don't like being wasteful, so I was just like, hey, do you want a new hobby? Here's a crochet hook and some yarn. Here's some knitting needles and some yarn. Here's some beads. I don't fucking know. Have a new hobby. Hobbies are important, but they're expensive to start. And sometimes supplies are just hard to get. So, but all the yarn that I have somewhat specific plans for them. So they're not just sitting there and they're not going to go to waste. But things that were literally just sitting there for a hot minute that I hadn't done anything with, I gave almost all of it away. So I'm really excited about that because trying to pare down things. Um, I have too much stuff, and it's the crow brain that likes to collect things, and I gotta nip that shit in the bud before it becomes hoarding because that it does exist in my family. And yeah, no, when I die, I'm not leaving my daughter a shit ton of things to go through. Um, because the reality is she's just going to throw away a lot of it, not because it's hateful or anything. It's just literally she probably won't have room for it. So it's not practical for me to amass a whole bunch of shit and then one day die and make it her responsibility. Kind of fucked up. If I leave her anything, it should just be cash and like family heirlooms that are precious and have sentimental value, valuables like that. But like, she doesn't need a collection of old CDs. She doesn't fucking use CDs. Anyway, that is neither here nor there. Now I've rambled for a little bit too long. I'm really warm now. and I'm really thirsty, so I'm gonna go find something to do, and I'm gonna drink this water. But again, I graduated. Yes, I did it. I did it. My test was the 19th, and my birthday was the 23rd. So I fucking did it right before my birthday. So fucking close. Oh, that was so awesome. Okay, anyway, thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening. If you stayed through the whole thing, thank you so much. Um, Take care. Oh, one last thing. I got an email from the fucking DNA thing, and they're processing my shit. It should be done by the 26th. So here's hoping. All right, bye.